Anybody else? Now we'll have a Sunday first lecture to be given by Grace Goparaj. Okay, so Goparaj Prabhu is going to speak and highlight on the 9 process of devotional service to Lord Krishna. So he'll be speaking on 9 process of devotional service from Srimad Bhagavatam. So you can get to hear Goparaj Prabhu is the direct disciple of His Holiness Jagataka Sai Maharaj, and he's been serving this temple for many, many years. So we'd like to welcome him by chanting Hare Krishna mantra by raising our hand. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. So after the lecture is over, then we'll have more little kirtan, there will be arati for the Sunday feast. But actually we don't have any Sunday feast sponsor, but anybody wants to sponsor, you can come and see me. And, okay, very good, thank you. We'll call your name later again. And then after this Sunday arati is over, then we'll have more announcement and then there will be prasadam. So stay with us between Hare Krishna.
process is something we quite often hear about. So I would like to just kind of discuss in an outline, a brief outline, what are those 9 processes and how to engage in them. Shri Prahlad Uvacha Srinvana Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Parasevanam Archanam Bandhanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmani Vedanam Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu Bhaktis Chinnava Kriyeta Bhagavat Yada Tanmanye Nitam Uttamam. Shri Prahlada Uvacha Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Parasevanam Archanam Bandhanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmani Vedanam Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu Bhaktis Chinnava Kriyeta Bhagavat Yada Tanmanye Nitam Uttamam. Someone else like to chant? Don't be shy.
Shri Prahlada Uvacha Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandhanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmani Vedanam Iti Pum Sharpita Vishnu Bhaktische Navalakshana Kriyeta Bhagavat Yadada Tanmanye Nitam Uttamam.
Prabhupada encouraged the devotees to chant these shlokas. You don't have to be expert in Sanskrit, but he was explaining each verse is like it's a mantra. It's purifying. So just to chant the shloka itself, the verse is purifying because it comes from the transcendental region. So that's why he often encouraged devotees in class to just chant. Anyone else? One final. So, Prahlad Maharaj said, hearing and chanting about the transcendental holy name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of Lord Vishnu, remembering him, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering the Lord respectful worship with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering prayers to the Lord, becoming his servant, considering the Lord one's best friend, and surrendering everything unto him. In other words, serving him with body, mind, and words. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. One who has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna through these 9 methods should be understood to be the most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge. So, a mega 2 verses. But right away we see what these 9 processes involve and how one can actually pick out one or be engaged in some or all of them. Shravanam. So Shravanam is hearing. Hearing of the holy name of the Lord, Shravanam, is the beginning of devotional service. Although any one of the 9 processes is sufficient, in chronological order. The hearing of the holy name of the Lord is the beginning. Indeed, it is essential. So, hearing about the Lord, one can actually take up the process of devotional service. But if you haven't heard about Him, then there's a problem. How can you do it? You can't. So you have to hear. And the way to hear is to somehow or other fall into the association of at least one other devotee, so they can explain to you who is Krishna, what is devotional service. So Shravanam, hearing, is of the utmost importance of the 9 processes. Even though any one of the 9, as Srila Prabhupada said, can actually liberate us. So let's continue here. Number 2, Kirtana. Kirtan, which we just tried to do. Kirtan, chanting the holy names. Now let us try to understand the chanting of the holy name, which is the second item in the consecutive order. It is recommended that such chanting be performed very loudly. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Narada Muni says that without shame, he began traveling all over the world chanting the holy name of the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has advised, Trinadapi Sanichena, Tarodapi Sahishtana, Amanana Manadena, Kirtaniya Sadahari. A devotee can very peacefully chant the holy name of the Lord by behaving more humbly than the grass, being tolerant like a tree, and offering respects to everyone without expecting honor from anyone else. Such qualifications make it easier to chant the holy name of the Lord. The process of transcendental chanting can be easily performed by anyone, even if one is physically unfit, classified lower than others, devoid of material qualifications, or not at all elevated in terms of pious activities. Chanting of the holy name is beneficial. So, very, very nice blessing and instruction. Basically saying you don't need any qualification. So there's no excuse, you can't make an excuse. The only excuse is that, and it's not an excuse, but the only way to get out of it is just to say, I'm not going to do it. I don't like it. I'm not going to do it. So that's a human prerogative. Human beings can, quote, make that kind of decision. It's a very bad decision. Don't make that decision. Of course, you prabhus would never make that decision. That's why you're all here. But that is the only way that you can't do it. You don't have to be a scholar. You don't have to have any type of degree, be learned in mathematics, science, biology. You don't need anything. You don't even have to be in kindergarten. You can be however old you are, a few months. Sometimes babies start making sounds at a very few months. And they can chant. So what should you be teaching them? You wouldn't teach them ga ga ga, boo boo boo, huh? Because if you do, that's the sound that they hear. That's what they can start repeating. But if you start saying Hare Krishna to the child all the time, what will the child repeat? Hare Krishna. So it's a very simple, easy process. You don't need any type of other qualification to get engaged in it. But Lord Chaitanya recommends here in this shloka we just chanted to behave humble. That can be very difficult. Because in our experience in this world, it's difficult to be humble. Because we're thinking, I'm just as good as he is. I'm just as good as he, I can do that. This is mine, I can do it. So that's not actually humble. If someone says, Prabhu, can you please chant Hare Krishna? No. So that's not being humble. If someone says, Prabhu, can you just sweep up this pile of dirt over here? No, I don't sweep. Even in my own home, I don't sweep. So, that's not being humble. So we have to understand chanting the holy name in a humble state of mind. And what is that? To be lower than the straw in the street. So we're standing over the straw when we sweep it up. We don't even consider it. But that's how low we have to be. But no one is thinking like that on a day-to-day basis, Here's the key to my Maserati. Could you please warm it up for me? We're thinking big time because we're big time. But we're not big time. We need to learn what it means to be humble, to chant humble. Because what we're doing, Srila Prabhupada once said, is just like a child crying for the mother, with that sincerity. Our chanting should be like that to Krishna. Not Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Hare. Is that crying for the... When the child wants the mother's attention, number one, it's usually very loud. Is it not? And he's pleading. He wants something. Be it milk, cereal, ladu, whatever it is the child wants. So we're crying to Krishna for this mercy. So it's Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We hope Krishna hears us chanting. That's how we should chant. But if we're chanting, and I can show you my example, because this is me in the morning. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Don't fall asleep with your japa. Think of it as you've invited Krishna already into the house. So if you invite a very prominent soul into your house, do you sit him down and then ignore him? Here's Mr. Joe Biden sitting right there. Okay, you're on your own, and I'm doing something else, washing dishes, sleeping. No! So think of it like that. Anything you can do to wake yourself up in a humble state of mind. We've invited Krishna in. Speaking for myself, I forget I've invited him in. So the consciousness just does what the ears and the mind tell it to do. Oh, you don't have to chant so much right now. Just kind of relax, settle down. That's the mind talking to you. Your mind is going to be your best friend or your worst enemy. So, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta said, don't allow those two gatekeepers, the ears, to take over ruling the five senses. Those two gatekeepers, the ears, will allow in what the other senses are after. So if nobody's telling you you're beautiful, handsome, you have such a nice this and that, you're not interested. So it goes in and out. If you don't see something beautiful that you like, the eyes are not even engaged. So one advantage to sitting at home, sit in front of your deity, sit in front of the screen and have Krishna present. Engage the eyes. And then Srila Prabhupada helping you with the japa tape, the japa mantra, chanting those rounds. That will engage the senses. Otherwise, there's a tendency, at least for me, to just kind of get lax. Forgot what you're talking about, who you're talking to. Imagine if you're talking to somebody. You talk, hey Prabhu, how are you doing? Did you rested nice? Did you have any... I forgot to ask you, did you have any breakfast? Because I'm no longer interested. So that Maha Mantra, it has to be exact in that sense. Don't forget what it is. Pray for me that I don't forget, because I'm forgetful. I'm on the material plane. So we have to be very sharp if we really want to imbibe these principles. To be as humble as a blade of grass and then as tolerant as a tree, forget it. You stepped on my toe, you idiot. What's the matter? Don't you see where you're walking? That's the tendency. It's almost, you would say, natural. But you should be in the mood of Lord Vishnu when Bhrigu Muni came? He kicked him in the chest. And Lord Vishnu said, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry my chest is so hard. I hope you didn't hurt your foot. We're not thinking like that. But we have to develop that kind of consciousness. The third principle, smarana, remembering. After one regularly performs the process of hearing and chanting, and after the core of one's heart is cleansed, smarana, remembering, is recommended. In Srimad Bhagavatam 2.1.11, Shukadeva Goswami tells King Parikshit, O king, for great yogis who have completely renounced all material connections, for those who desire all material enjoyment, and for those who are self-satisfied by dint of transcendental knowledge, constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord is recommended. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is not an accomplishment that, oh, I've chanted 16 rounds, I've chanted 152,000 rounds, now I'm realized. It's not an accomplishment. It's a continual association with the Supreme Lord. So this smaranam, no one is exempt from trying it. But this smaranam, remembering the Lord, is key to that when we're chanting. That's why if we see the Lord or a devotee present, it helps remembering the Lord. It helps remember why we're chanting. And as Shukadeva said, regardless of what state you actually are in, there's no excuse. You can say, Prabhu, I'm not on that level. But he says, whether you desire all material enjoyment. So raise your hand if you still desire all material enjoyment. I guess I'm the only one. We do, maybe not all, but there's some things that we still want. If anybody has the key to a BMW they want to give me, okay. But these material desires, so that doesn't exempt what we're getting at. That doesn't exempt us from chanting. Oh, but Prabhu, I'm too fallen. Can't do it. I tried chanting Hare Krishna, but I still want this, I still want that, I'm still doing. Okay, you're still doing all that. So why not still sit and chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Hare. We see in this little image, I captured this image of Haridas Thakur, the prime example. Why? Because Lord Chaitanya designated him Nama Acharya. He is the Acharya of the holy name. He took chanting seriously. Hundreds of rounds he did every day. So we were discussing this past week in our little Gita class how this Kazi wanted to defame Haridas and devised a method where he would send one of the local professional women. We try to refrain from even using the regular words for that, but he sent one of the local women to entice Haridas. Everybody was thinking, this is such a great soul, but the Kazi, he didn't want anyone to outdo what they were doing. So he was thinking in his mind, this guy's just for show. He's just sitting there trying to pretend to be someone great. But we know that Haridas wasn't pretending. And so when this distraction was sent, Haridas welcomed her into his hut, his ashram, and she explained her desires. And Haridas said, okay, I will try to fulfill your desires. Please just take a seat and allow me to finish my prescribed chanting. So there's an instruction. When someone knocks on the door, we tend to just open it. Oh, come on in. Let's enjoy it. That's it. When the ears hear something, oh yeah, we need to discuss that. But we should take that example of Haridas on any level, any platform. Okay, welcome, but excuse me, let me finish this round at least. Let me finish my rounds. That way, if we're sincere, we can get the benefit. We can make that advancement. But if we're easily subject to distractions, we have to make the arrangement. That's what Srila Prabhupada said. Make an arrangement to where you won't be disturbed. It's not like every day it has to be the same thing. But make an arrangement where you can chant here, chant there if the rounds are not finished. Make some way to get it done. Anyway, we know the story. Haridas wound up asking this lady on 3 different days, no, 2 days, he asked her the second day when she came. Because the first day she got so tired and bored of waiting she had to leave. She again approached the next day, same proposition, and Haridas still wasn't finished. So he asked the same request. Please allow me just to finish my rounds, and then I can attend to whatever you need. But on the 3rd day, when she returned with a confession. And that was she had been sent here by the cousin. Really to just mess up your program, to make you look bad. And Haridas explained, well, I was aware of that. And she begged for tears in her eyes, begged for forgiveness. I don't want to go through with that. Please just forgive me. Please forgive me. What should I do? And Haridas said, well, actually, I was planning to leave this area anyway, so you want to do something? Just sit here in this hut like I was doing before Tulsi and chant Hare Krishna. First, go and just give away all these possessions, these jewels, the money that you've accumulated, beautiful sari, just give it all away, and come here, sit down, and chant these holy names. So she was in agreement, because she was in contact with a pure devotee. So she did exactly as he did, and Haridas went on his way, and every day she sat in this hut and chanted. And very soon the people in the area became amazed. Why is this lady of the night, using euphemisms here, why is she sitting here just chanting? And she seems to be content. So a very short time she gained a reputation as being a pure soul. That's all she was engaged in, trying to chant the Maha Mantra. And so they would bring Lakshmi, gifts, jewels, food, everything. And she would only keep what she could use in one day. And then she gave the rest away, distributed. This is the mercy of the pure devotee. Pada Sevanam. We're up to number 4. Serving the lotus feet of the Lord. Being intensely attached to thinking of the Lord's lotus feet is called Pada Sevanam. When one is particularly ardent to the process of Pada Sevanam, this process gradually includes other processes, such as seeing the form of the Lord, touching the form of the Lord, circumambulating the form of the temple of the Lord, visiting such places as Jagannath Puri, Dwarka, and Mathura to see the Lord's form, and bathing in the Ganges or the Yamuna. So this is Pada Sevanam, one of the recommended methods. So if you have the opportunity, certainly you should visit the Lord at Jagannath Puri or the Lord's palace at Dwarka and certainly at Mathura. But since we might not immediately have that opportunity, what has happened? Anybody know what has happened? I'll give you one clue. He's sitting in the back of the temple right now, observing us.
Prabhu came to rescue us.
Okay, this prabhu has an idea. So what has happened?
I think you're referring to Srila Prabhupada. No, I think you're saying that Prabhupada is watching us.
Srila Prabhupada has made a tirtha right here in Atlanta. You understand what is a tirtha? We can't all, maybe some, but we can't all immediately jump up and just go to Mathura, even if we desire. But Srila Prabhupada has made it possible in a place as desolate and remote as Atlanta, Georgia, southern part of the United States of America, which people think, oh, this is a wonderful country. This is a great country. It is, yeah, I won't argue that. But why is it great? Srila Prabhupada has made this tirtha here, right here in Atlanta. And so we can come here 7 days of the week if we have time. We can come on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, any day, and get a viewing of their lordships. Krishna has agreed to be present here. So when we come, we're getting that mercy. This is Padasena. You're using that physical aspect that we all have to go somewhere, to travel, to run, jog, fly, drive. We all have that tendency. So why not use it to come and get the mercy of Sri Sri Radha Padasena, serving the Lord's lotus feet. And of course, there's obviously more to it. Because you can be in your own apartment, house, and still do Padasena. Just get a plate of fruit, wash it and clean it, and sit it on an altar. You don't have to build a marble thing, but you can have a nice, clean table and a nice picture of Gaura Nitai, Srila Prabhupada, and you can offer right in your home. This is Padasena. So again, when the mind is thinking this and that, what did we say earlier? It's an excuse. I can't do that. I can't do that. You can do it. It's very easy. You can serve the Lord's lotus feet by giving the Lord what He wants. To find out what He wants, that's why we're studying Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why we hear from the Acharya. Archana, number 5, worship of the deity. Archana, after Padasena, comes the process of Archana, worship of the deity. If one is interested in the process of Archana, one must positively take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master and learn the process from him. There are many books for Archana, especially the Narada Pancharatra. In this age, the Pancharatra system is particularly recommended for Archana, deity worship. There are 2 systems of Archana, the Bhagavat system and the Pancharatrika system. So, anyone can aspire to actually serve the Lord on the altar. You should not be afraid. It's simply that you have to get qualified to do it. You can ask this very nice devotee. She's going to be mad when I point her out, but Radhapriya Devi Dasi has served the Lord so much on this very same altar. Why? No one had a whip for her to do it. But serving the Lord directly on the altar gives one a type of benefit and pleasure one cannot have otherwise. There goes the mind. I can't get here every day. You know, I gotta get up and go to work. I gotta. to have some little deity. You don't even have to have a physical deity at home. You can have an authorized picture of the Panchatattva. Why do I say that? Well, Goparaj is making up some stuff. No, because in the very beginning of this temple, Balavan Prabhu is a witness, this was the only deity we had here. The Panchatattva picture hanging over the altar. And devotees worship that picture. And later, Lord Chaitanya agreed to give more mercy. So we can have, no one can say we can't have a picture in our home and perform all the necessary things to worship. This will help one grow spiritually so that eventually one will get the opportunity to serve the deities on the altar. One will get the ability to serve the deity on the Rath cart. It's the most wonderful pleasure to serve the Lord on the Rath cart. Every year I just look forward to it. Because you're directly with Lord Jagannath and you're doing some seva. And Lord Jagannath is interested in winning so many other souls. So he goes out, let's collect some, let them see. Some of those souls may never do another thing in this particular life and body, but they've been blessed to the point where they could literally go back to the spiritual world. That's Lord Jagannath's business. So, Archana, very important. Number 6, offering prayers. The Lord has ultimately transcendental qualities and opulences, and one who feels influenced by the Lord's qualities and various activities offers prayers to the Lord. In this way, he becomes successful. In this connection, the following are some of the offenses to be avoided. 1. To offer obeisances on one hand. Think about that. We have seen, we are guilty of, just come in the temple, we have something in our other hand. It's the number 1 offense listed in the Nectar of Devotion. Offer obeisances with just one hand. So be careful, prabhus. To offer obeisances with one's body covered. Don't throw your chudder all over your head like that. It's not proper. To show one's back to the deity. Of course, people that are new are going to come in the temple and sit anyway. But you should not sit with your back facing the deity. It's just totally disrespectful. To offer obeisances on the left side of the deity. And finally, to offer obeisances very near the deity. This is why there's a gap. In any temple, any place you go, you'll see you can't directly go up on the altar and pay respects. It would be nice, but it's an offense. So these are offenses to avoid. If you want further info, the list of 31 offenses to avoid are in the Nectar of Devotion, chapter 8. I, for one, would recommend just going through that, just reading it. It will help you in the same thing we're trying to accomplish, is chanting the Maha Mantra. Number 7, Dasya, rendering personal service. After many thousands of births, when one comes to understand that he is an eternal servant of Krishna, one can deliver others from this universe. If one simply continues to think that he is an eternal servant of Krishna, even without performing any other process of devotional service, he can attain full success. For simply by this feeling, one can perform all 9 processes of devotional service. So dasya, rendering personal service. So we can see just through the image some simple ways. How are you going to render personal service? So obviously most of us are in like a quote home environment at home most of the time. So you make some little altar. And then when you prepare nice substances, you don't have to have silver plates like we see in the picture. You can have regular plates that are used just for the deity. And you can put the nice preparations you made on the plate and bring it to the altar and serve Krishna. Of course, you can just make a simple thing like some flowers and offer them to the deities. You don't even have to string them together. You can put 5 flowers in a plate and offer that to the deities. Anyone have difficulty with that? Please raise your hand. Nobody. I'm not trying to embarrass anyone. But it's not difficult, in other words. I'm trying to just show it's easy. So you can take so many different things that are authorized. Haribo. Jai Shri Krishna. Such alert eyes. I hope I don't make any offense. You can take any of these articles and offer them at home. Incense, flour, a little lamp. They sell ghee now even in Aldi's, so there's no excuse. You don't have to make your own ghee. You can go to Aldi, you go to the farmer's market, you go to Charin's. I'm not a commercial, but I'm just telling you, you can get some ghee and you can make a little lamp. Cotton is available in Walmarts, you know. You make a cotton ball and make a little thing and put it on and offer it to Krishna. He's made it very easy. So rendering personal service, no excuse. Can't say I can't get on the altar. You can't say I can't go in my own house. You can't say I don't go in my own living room or wherever you have your deities. There's no excuse. Dasya. We're up to number 8. Sakya, friendship. O my Lord, Supreme Personality and Eternal Friend, although you are full of bliss and knowledge, you have become the friend of the residents of Vrindavan. How fortunate are these devotees. In this statement, the word friend is specifically used to indicate intense love. Friendship, therefore, is better than servitude. In the stage above Dasya Ras, the devotee accepts the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a friend. So one of the prime examples we know, as we study all the time, Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna had and reciprocates with Krishna as a friend. So in that mood, for years, they were associating together. It's not like Krishna just came and said, okay, Arjuna, sit down, I'm going to teach you Bhagavad Gita. There's a lot of pastimes to Krishna. Anyway, Arjuna was on such friendly terms that he would, go in Krishna's bedroom, just sit down on the bed. How you doing? What's going on? We have friends like that, baby. Or someone very familiar. You're not afraid to go up, give him a hug. What's happening, Prabhu? So for years, Arjuna was basically treating Krishna like that. Some of his brothers had a tad bit more reserve and respect, but they all saw Krishna as just their dear friend. Oh, Krishna's coming over today. We have to prepare something. We have to fix something very nice so Krishna will be pleased. So this friendship is something we can aspire to. It can't be done artificial. Don't expect Krishna's going to invite you up to the altar and you can hug Gaur Nitai. You can't do that yet. It takes some time. I remember many, many years ago having gotten the opportunity to be trained on the altar and to bathe the feet of Lord Chaitanya every day. It's very unique. Because you hear of Lord Chaitanya so much. But anyway, to get, again, back to how that served, if somebody as low life and useless as me can get that training and opportunity to do it, should take advantage of it. That's what I'm trying to say. But anyway, Lord Chaitanya emanates mercy, emanates more than I can say at this point. So if you want to reciprocate with the Lord in friendship, think of devotees like Arjuna and other intimate associates. And you can enter into that mood of serving the Lord. One more process, Atma Nivedana, surrendering everything. Number 9. The word Atma Nivedanam refers to the stage at which one who has no motive other than to serve the Lord surrenders everything to the Lord and performs his activities only to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a devotee is like a cow that is cared for, by its master. When cared for by its master, a cow is not in anxiety over its maintenance. Such a cow is always devoted to its master and never acts independently, but only for the master's benefit. Some devotees therefore consider dedication of the body to the Lord to be Atma Nivedanam. And as stated in the book known as Bhakti Viveka, sometimes dedication of the soul to the Lord is called Atma Nivedanam. The best example of Atma Nivedanam are found in Bali Maharaj and Ambarish Maharaj. Atma Nivedanam is also sometimes found in the behavior of Rukmini Devi at Dwarka. So, surrendering everything to the Lord. This is the final of the 9 processes, with a little example of how it can be done. One has to be at a sincere level. But we know the example of Ambarish Maharaj. He performed all the other services, and he surrendered everything. Everything he did from sunrise to sunset was serving Krishna. The same example we can say with Bali Maharaj, when the Lord tricked him, but still he went against his own guru's desires and desired to give Krishna, to give Vishnu everything. So when we reach that stage, Krishna will reciprocate. We can't artificially say, oh, I surrender everything to Krishna. You can't do it like that. You have to actually do it. And when you do it, Krishna will reciprocate. Why? Not that he's obliged, but because he can see the heart of every devotee. Shri Krishna Balarama Ki Jai. If you want to enter Vrindavan, you can do it. We just found out how you can enter Vrindavan. This is where Krishna always is. This is where all his intimate associates always are. And all the pastimes are always going on. So, next time you see main event downtown Atlanta, if it's not the Ratha Yatra, don't even bother. We don't have to go. Because the main event is always in Golok Vrindavan. And through the mercy of Krishna, also in Gokula Vrindavan. Finally, from the Madhya Lila, Eka Krishna Nama Kare Sarva Papa Kshaya Nava Vidya Bhakti Purna Nama Haya. Simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna once, a person is relieved from all the reactions of sinful life. One can complete the 9 processes of devotional service simply by chanting the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Purport. In this regard, Srila Jiva Goswami states in his book Bhakti Sandarbha, Yadyapi anya bhakti kalo kartavya tada kirtanayaka bhakti samayoginaya. Out of the 9 processes of devotional service, kirtan is very important. Srila Jiva Goswami therefore instructs that the other processes, such as Arjuna, Vandana, Dasya, and Sakya, should be executed. But they must be preceded and followed by kirtan, the chanting of the holy name. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai! Srila Jiva Goswami ki Jai! And in order to follow that instruction, we're going to actually have to chant at least 1 minute. 1 minute before we finish. Any questions? Want me to keep chanting?
Hare Krishna. So I'd like to come, Vinodhari Prabhu to come to the Sunday responsive. Come into the vineyard. We'll continue the kirtan, and then after we'll have more and more. Thank you. Any questions?
We offer obeisances not on Krishna's left side. It's Krishna's left side. Yeah, you shouldn't. If you're offering obeisance to Krishna, because no one knows who anyone is offering obeisances to. We see, all of us see everybody coming into the temple and bowing down. We can't say, oh, he's offering obeisances to Krishna. We don't, it might be Guru, it might be another person. Anyway, in our mind, we should know the proper behavior. So when we want to repay respects to the deities, we pay our respects.
Because sometimes women go from this side and we offer from this side. I do it. It's wrong, right? Like how going from this side and offering from this side.
If you're coming from that side, you can offer respects to your Guru, Maharaj. But this is according to the Nectar of Devotion.
Krishna only, right?
Chapter 8, 31 offenses.
Hare
I thought the announcements.
More.
So how beautifully he described our nine process of devotional service to to Krishna. And Mahaprabhu said that Navavida Bhakti Madhya Hai Shravana Kirtana Pradhan. Out of 9 devotional service, Shravana Kirtan, hearing and chanting, is the most glorious and is most satisfying to Krishna. So, we are doing all the time hearing and chanting the glories of Krishna. This is the best way to please the Lord in this age of Kali. So we have, we're going to honor our Sunday feast sponsor, Venudhari Prabhu and family. So Venudhari Prabhu is sponsoring Sunday feast to seek the blessings of all the Vaishnavas. Can you pray for this wonderful devotee, Venudhari Prabhu, by raising our hand? Chant one time, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you. Venudhari is a wonderful devotee. He is actually initiated from the Gauriya mission, but he always come to Iskcon, always support Prabhupada's temple. Very nice devotee and his family. They always come here and serve Prabhupada and his mission. So let's give a round of applause for this wonderful devotee.
It's all the costless mercy of all the Vaishnavas, Srila Prabhupada and Guruji. Thank you.
So we just have a few announcements. 29th June is a Thursday. It's Shayan Ekadashi. So we request devotees to follow Ekadashi. They will fast from grains and beans. That's on Thursday. Then on 27th August is Radha Govinda Julan Jatra. You can all come to the temple. We'll have Julan for Radha Madan Mohan. You can come in the morning and also in the evening. 2 times we'll have Julan. So that's on August 30th. Then on the 6th September we have Janmashtami, the birthday of Lord Krishna.
Haribo!
Balaram, she didn't put Balaram. Then? Okay, 30th
31st.
August is Wednesday, is Balaram Appearance Day.
Haribo!
And then 6th September we have Janmashtami, birthday of Lord Krishna. Then on 7th September, Thursday, is Prabhupada Appearance Day. So we're not going to go in detail because we still have time, but you can mark these dates in your calendar so that you can take off and come to honor this festival. Also, temple like to announce that devotees who like to take prasadam in your home, you can do that. But let all the devotees are fed well, all the brahmanas, Vaishnavas, guests, well-wishers, if they are fed nicely and they take prasad, then whatever is left over you can take home. So please remember that and just maintain this is a little Vaishnava etiquette, so that because we want to see that every devotee is getting fed, whoever is coming in, whether they are coming from anywhere, but we want to see that everybody gets a prasad. And whatever is left over, if it is extra, you can take home. So this is temple is requesting all the devotees to follow this. Also like to, temple wants to thank Siddhartha Sarin family for donating $2,800 for Janmashtami, 2 sets of deity dress. So that's very nice. One more dress is left. His Lord Jagannath dress is still left. Nobody has sponsored. If you want to sponsor, you can come and see me. We have already ordered the dress in Vrindavan. They will be coming after 1 month. But it takes sometimes 2 months to get ready and get to America. So we can, if somebody wants to sponsor, please come and see me. And then also like to thank Hanuman Prasad Agarwal and family for donating $10,116 for renovating our Radharani's kitchen. So they'll be doing some kitchen work on the floor They'll be remodeling the new floor for the Radharan's kitchen. And that donation has been donated by Hanuman Prasad Agarwal family. And also they have donated for the extending this public bathroom that we have, small, but we'll try to make bigger from next week. Most probably we'll start the work in the kitchen. So in this regard, Govardhanila Mataji is requesting that devotees who have a little time, if you are free Saturday, please come. Whether you can come around 12 o'clock, you can see the noon arati, and then after that you can have prasadam, and then we'll try to get this kitchen. There's a lot of stuff that need to take it, we have to take them down, or sometimes we have to put them outside, some of the things. So we need a few devotees' help so that we can start the work as soon as possible. So please, next Saturday, I won't be here, but there will be other devotees. I hope Chitta Prabhu will be here and Ghanashyam Prabhu will be here. They will show you how to get those things downstairs and put it where. So please help them. So we'll start the remodeling of the kitchen and especially the floor. And also the bathroom work will not start now, but after the kitchen is over, then we'll start the bathroom. So this is school service. So let's give a round of applause for this Hanuman Prasad Agarwal. That's all for today. Any other announcements? Okay. Hare Krishna. So now we see the deities, so we'll take the blessings from the pujaris and the deities, and the prasad will serve outside.